Well, hi there. My name is Reverend Dr. David J. Carlson. I'm the chaplain for Fleet Activities Okinawa. And, as chaplains, we serve as chief ethical advisors for our commands. And I'd like to talk to you, remind you about an ethical issue that's been on my heart. And that's the issue of ethnic prejudice and bigotry. And of course, we've seen a lot of that in the news in our country recently. But I'd like to just remind you about the Navy ethos and what we stand for. Our Sailor's Creed says at the very end, and I'm committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. And so we all know the ideals, but when we talk about this issue, I want to point out really two spheres that's going on. There is the normative sphere of what ought to be the case, and then often we see in society the descriptive sphere of what is the case. Now, in the descriptive sphere, we see that, yes, there could be in many domains of society still systemic inequities. And it's terrible. We see some people still have, I don't know how that's possible and why they have it, but they still have hatred and prejudice and bigotry, and it's terrible. And we know that's not the ideal. That's the reality in some places. And we want to call it for what it is and not bury our head in the sand and call it out. But at the same time, we in the Navy know that there's what ought to be the case. And we live in that world. We want to live in that world. We should never have anything to do with the evil reality on this side, but what ought to be the case, which is the dream that Martin Luther King had, that we never judge anybody by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, that we treat everyone with equal dignity and sacredness and value and worth. And that's where we should live as sailors. And I want to just remind you of that ethos in the Navy, we should be the model. That's what I want to encourage you. In the military, in the Navy, we should be the model for society, so that although we're trying to be a more perfect union, we are that perfect union in the military, in the Navy, and we set that model. And that's my dream for you, and I wish you Godspeed, that as an individual, you would always treat everybody with equal dignity and value and worth and honor and sacredness. And that's my prayer as well. And I know in my faith tradition, my God would have so much joy when we do that. And because that's the most beautiful way that we should live. And let's live in that normative sphere, each one of us as sailors.